G'day guys, Mark here, welcome to the channel. Tonight we are putting the Traxxas Trx4 Bronco versus the Axial Deadbolt 2 head to head. We're going to put them together, do some challenges, look at them nitty gritty and find out who's the winner. Rightio, first off, value for money. For what you get straight from the box. Anyone who's new to the hobby doesn't really know what they're buying, or wants to decide what to put their money into. Rightio. What I paid for the Axial Deadbolt SCX10II $569 Australian. Now, the Traxxas Trx4 Bronco, I paid $879 Australian. So what's the differences in those? Rightio. Portal axles. No portal axles. Two-speed gearbox, only one speed. Locking differentials, diffs are locked all the time, guys. So this one is a little bit faster than this one, but you both of them, you can't walk faster than them. So for those guys that like to do the trail walks and that kind of stuff, they're both just as good as each other in that respect. But this one, you'll get a little bit more battery life out of on the trails in second gear before you've got to go to crawl mode. Rightio. So on that note, you pay $310 more for this one. If I had only one car, one choice, I would put my money into the TRX4. But if you are new to the hobby and you don't want to spend that kind of money, but you want something that will perform just as well, you can't go past the Deadbolt. So value for money, it's hard to put a winner on one, because one, you get far more with it than the other. So that's up to you guys to decide as the purchaser, the buyer, what you would rather put your money into, when they're both just very, very capable. The looks, rightio. You can't go past the looks of either of them. They both look absolutely epic, rightio. Now, this one is obviously modelled off, everybody knows, the 1979 Ford Bronco. This one here, because there's no licensing or anything, nobody really knows for sure. I think it's modelled off the old International Scout, or it could be modelled off an early model Bronco. If anybody knows that's watching this video, please clarify it down in the comments what you think, what your opinion is, or if you know for sure. Because living in Australia, we didn't grow up with these sorts of cars to know for sure, but I like it. They both look absolutely epic. Modifications. When it comes to modifications, the TRX4 has a broader variety of what you can buy for it, like more bumper bars, just a broader variety when you go shopping. And they're easy to install. Everything on the TRX4 just works. It's so easy to install mods, where everything I did and bought for the Axial, I've had to kind of fix or modify a little bit, including like this short rock crawler bumper. Even the mounts that were supposed to be short ones were too long and they had to be shortened. The hex extensions, they didn't quite fit and had to be bored out just a little bit to get them on. The other thing that is a big plus with the TRX4, if you want to modify it, is this one comes with an external power supply. This one does not. So if you want to go adding electrical accessories and mods to either car, The Traxxas TRX4 is far better in that respect because of that power supply and the ability to add mods to it. The room inside the body, that type of thing. They're easier to get, your mods, for the TRX4 than what I found purely. You know, please, this video is opinion based only. Opinions are like bums. Everybody's got one, rightio, and they're all different. Parts were a little bit more difficult to work with too, as I said, with the Axial. Even removing parts from the Axial were more difficult than what it was to work with the TRX4. GoPro mounting. If you guys want to mount a GoPro on either vehicle, it's no secret. If you're a fan of my channel and you've watched my videos, you just know full well that I've got a GoPro mounted in either vehicle, capability of it. Inside the Bronco, there is a mounting bracket on the battery clamp just behind the hinge. Now when you use the GoPro inside the Traxxas TRX4, the camera's more protected in case of a rollover, which is better, but the footage is hindered by the fact that you've got a windscreen. So it's a catch-22. And you must use a shorter mount for the camera so that the camera fits inside the body when it's mounted in there. On the Axial, you can see clearly here that I've got a mount on top of the cage here, and I only have it cable tied on because I didn't want to permanently glue it on there because it's easy enough to remove. Now, when it comes to mounting the little GoPro, I just use one of these little arms here. The longer one is for when the camera is mounted on here. You have to use a shorter one again in the Traxxas Bronco. What I will say about the GoPro footage, when you use the GoPro inside the Bronco, it doesn't hinder the performance. The car takes the weight of the GoPro and the camera quite well, and it probably helps performance. It does add in a bit of top end weight. But when you put it on top of this, it's like adding a mast. So it makes filming GoPro footage with this a bit more difficult, but the bonus is the footage is super clear. Durability. Now, the Traxxas TRX4 has a reputation for just being bulletproof. If you watch YouTube, you have seen people do some brutal things to their Traxxas Bronco and it stands up. I have personally put it through some pretty big spills and have never broken a thing to do with the car. With the Axial, second run, I stripped the servo horn and had to replace it. So if you want to look at that, there will be a link in the description below for that servo horn upgrade, because then if you put the alloy servo horn on it, there is a piece on the back of the servo horn which will then hinder the steering. So check out that link in that video if you want to see how to fix that. Usability. Rightio. If you want just a rock crawler or something that you're going to take to the rocks or whatever and not do much of a trail thing, this always just in crawl mode, doesn't have the first, second gear option. So those that are right into the trail walking, I would probably go with the Traxxas TRX4 Bronco. I'd say it's probably the better all-round vehicle. This one more specific. Right. Capability. This is where we go and get to do some testing, and we find out. We're going to push each one to the limit until one falls over and one fails. Right guys, it's challenge time. This test is about ground clearance. Which one is going to bottom out first? Now we're starting off with a 35-degree slope. guys, we're going up to a 40-degree slope now. Alrighty, it took a bit of momentum to get over it. Alright guys, Bronco's turned 40-degree slope with a peak. Here we go guys, test number 2. How steep can it climb? We're starting off with a 45-degree angle. Here we go, Bronco 45-degree angle. Slope, sorry. Easy. Here we go guys, we're up to 50-degree slope. Go guys, Bronco 50-degree slope. Oh yeah. Alright guys, 55-degree slope. Well, it got up there, but it can't get over the hook. 55-degree slope. The axle just got up there. We'll have to call that one a draw as well, guys. Okay, guys, this is challenge number 3. What we're going to do is slowly feed this wedge in to this paver and this brick till this comes up, till the car falls over. Then we're going to measure the exact degrees of the paver before the car falls over. We are starting off at 38 degrees. There we go. We measure that. Alright guys, 40.6 for the axial. So we're starting off at exactly the same 38 degrees for the Bronco. Let's see where it ends up. There we go. Let's measure that, guys. Alright guys, challenge number 4. These bricks are 70mm above the height of those pavers. Bronco's turn, guys. This one is just to demonstrate the benefit of portal axles. If you put those bricks all the way to the center, I'm willing to bet the axial can't get over it. Let's see how they go. Remember guys, this is not actually part of the challenge. This is just to clearly demonstrate the benefit of portal axles. You can see we're caught up already. And the rear one's caught. I don't need to push my point any further there, guys. Alright guys, here we go. Challenge number 5, the stepped V axial deadbolt. Check out those full throttle stickers. How gnarly do they look? I'll throw a link in the description below to where I got those. Check it out guys, here we go. Challenge number 6, the final one, the spiral staircase. Made it. Right, here we go guys, Bronco's turn, spiral staircase. Guys, now that we've finished all the challenges,
we're going to do a little bonus challenge, and we're going to see how steep and far across this staircase we can actually come. Let's go, guys. I really think the deadbolt is going to have a huge advantage here with the open wheels. Let's see. Oh, no way. Look at that, guys. Oh. Alrighty, let's try that again. No way. Yes, we've made it. Oh, let's try the Bronco, guys. Alright guys, Bronco's turn. I think the guards are really going to hinder it, but we'll give it our best crack. We've done it. Wow. That is amazing, guys. How good are both of these crawlers? I can't split them. They're both just the duck's guts.